What's up everyone, Mike here from The Art of Guitar, here with my second attempt at making this video. Had a little bit of issue with the last video. I used my Strat and the action was so low I was getting fret buzz. And there's this funny buzz in this new building that I moved to through the amp, so you might still hear that a little bit, but it's a lot less apparent with the SG. So we're going to do Sweet Home Alabama levels on an SG. So it might be a little strange, but it'll work. Okay, I've seen a lot of people play this a lot of different ways at a lot of different levels. So the first level I've seen people play this is just with power chords. And it's kind of interesting because you could still make it work in a roundabout way. It's not going to sound perfect, obviously, but if you take, for example, a D power chord, so 5th string, 5th fret, and you make a power chord, and then you add the octave to it. So it's going to be like this. And you just pick it a certain way, it can sound okay. A little generic, obviously, but it's just the first level. So all I'm doing is I'm going from a D power chord, moving it back to the C power chord, then moving it over to the G power chord. Okay, so we quickly want to move on to level 2, because a lot of you guys like the open chord version, because it's closer to the real version, but we have the D to a C add 9 to a G. Now some players elect to do the full chord shapes, but you'll see sometimes I'll leave a few fingers off just because you don't need them. Like for example, the pinky doesn't need to be there. Sometimes I don't put it down, sometimes I do, depends on the day I guess. Still generic, but now it sounds a little bit better in my opinion because you're using open chords and a lot of open strings that always sound nice. So a little faster. Alright, level 3, we're going to add a little bit extra to the end of each phrase. So we're going to go like this. We're adding one more string that we're going to play at the last possible second. And go right to the next chord. And right to the next chord. The last one's a little bit special. We're going to hit the 2 low Gs, then the open G, and then a quick open G before you go to the low G. So don't forget that last little 16th note. Throw it in there and it'll catch the beat in a great way. Okay, now we're going to add the tail. It gives me traction when I add that extra pick. Otherwise you feel like you're just sort of relying a lot on your left hand. You know what I mean? So it gives you a little more of a push there. And then after you hit the final B, we're going to reach up. Some people use the ring finger, some people use their middle finger. And we're going to hit the 3rd string, 2nd fret A and do a pull off to open G. Just like that. I've even seen people do it all with one finger before. That's crazy to me. I just can't see using my first finger that much, but some people do that. Okay, so anyways, I like to use my middle finger. So I end up going to complete the first tail. So if you put it all together, you get this. So now level 5 is great because we're going to start palm muting a little bit at the beginning of each phrase. So palm muting is not really your palm on the strings. It's funny they call it palm muting. It's the side of your hand on the edge of the bridge and the string. So right where they meet, you can put the edge of your hand and then play, and you get this nice little muted sound. So it's not totally dead muted like this. It's too much. Move back until you get some tone. Move too far back and you have no muting happening at all, so you defeat the purpose. So come back. That's what you want. Now some people over mute it. They go too much. What you want to do is you want to mute the first one slightly and then let go and play the next one open. Same with when you go to the C and the G. For now, for level 5. There's some fine details in that. We'll get to that in the next level, but for now we're just going to go mute, unmute, play the upstrokes, the next part, and the next part. So we get. Alright, I got away with that for many years. A lot of people do. But now we're going to go to level 6. I'm really going to add the detail, okay? So the final detail is going to be the same concept. We're going to do the mute for the first part. We're going to kill the string. And then play the open string. Okay, that's a little detail for the D part. Mute, kill, open. mute, kill, open. Then we go to the next one. When we get to the C now, something special happens. We do the mute, but then we do a really quick lift off of our middle finger and then right back on. So when we lift off, I want you to do a quick upstroke, like that. And then when it comes back down, we're going to play the C without the mute. So you get this. Fun thing to practice. Then we're going to do the same thing with the G. The G, when you listen to the recording, it's so quick it's hard to tell if he does lift off to the E or if it's just two Gs with a dead note between. It's hard to tell. Alright, so if we put all these into practice now, the D is the mute, kill, open. The C is the lift off. The G is the lift off. You guys are dying to hear the next lick, I bet. It's a fun one to throw in there. Okay, it's not as stratty as I wanted it to sound, obviously. But I'll fix that poor strat up and we'll come back with some more lessons with that, I promise. And by the way, I decided not to sell this SG. I'm keeping it. I just had to do some modifications. I took the weird little thing off of the Duesenberg tremolo, which I was using, and I kind of broke it. But I sort of like this. It kind of looks nice, so I might just keep that. But anyways, thought I'd let you know. We're going to be doing another levels series very soon in the next week or so, and it's one that a lot of people have been requesting, so I'm excited about it. So okay, go ahead and practice your Sweet Home Alabama, and I guess we will catch you next time. All right, see ya.